Today's short video will be extremely interesting, so watch until the end and I'll tell you why. What is life like for those of us who live in rented or leased places in Cuba, and why did I have to move? And we're also going to be preparing a little Cuban lunch because this is a combo. There's everything here. My love. Hello! Hello everyone and welcome once again to my channel. In case you're arriving here for the first time and you're asking, who is this little girl that popped up here? Well, gentlemen, I am Anita, I am Cuban, and I make YouTube videos about what life is like in Cuba, how the reality is lived here. I invite you to subscribe below by clicking the little red subscribe button. From now on, I'll be putting it here. That you can join this family. We are already reaching 150,000. We reached 100,000 recently and we were celebrating it, and now we are close to 150,000 subscribers. I'm super happy that people from many places, from many countries have joined, and you really don't know how grateful I am to all of you who are there, sending me comments, messages. I appreciate you very much. So you who are new out there, who have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Today's little video is a little video that you guys have asked me for a lot, because you saw that I moved, because those who know me from a little while back knew me living in another little house. And so many have asked me, Anita, is it a house tour? Or tell us, why did you move? Did something bad happen that you moved? What happened to you? Well, in this little video, I'm going to explain what it is. Look at Phoebe, she goes in and out there as if the channel was hers. In this short video, I'll explain my move, show you the small house, and share more information to make it educational. Here's a glimpse into the reality for young people living in rented homes in Cuba. How does this work a little bit, since I also get asked this quite a lot? So I advise you to give this little video a like because you're going to like it. And then you're going to stay with me because I'm going to prepare lunch, and you're going to stay with me so you can see what I make for lunch. So let's start with today's little video. Let's start by talking about the reality of living in rented accommodation in Cuba. How can we, the young people, become independent? First, let me explain that the option of buying a house is kind of ruled out because it's very complicated. I'm not going to tell you that there isn't a young person like me who does have a house, who could have inherited it, whose family could have left it to them. The vast majority of us can't afford to buy a house here due to the high cost. It's very difficult to become a homeowner in this area. Unless you continue living with your parents, stay in your family's house all your life. And so, well, the other option we young people have to become independent is to go live in rented places, or as we say here in Cuba, live in rented places. But it turns out that living in rented places is usually very expensive. It's expensive in other countries too. I know that the reality in many countries is also very complicated. But while I am talking about the reality here in Cuba, many have told me it's like this in my country too. But I'm specifically talking about my own country and what I know right now. Understand? The rents, let's see, I know because they have told me, they have commented, and also because, well, I have seen in programs, in movies, etc., that in other countries there are real estate companies which, well, are private and such, and like they build neighborhoods, they build buildings, and you sign a contract and you can go live in an apartment, and that's the way to live rented. Many choose to share a flat because it also tends to be expensive. In other countries, no. In other countries, yes, your salary is enough, I guess. Here in Cuba, how does that work? Right now, rents are super expensive. A minimum rent can cost you 3,000 pesos, which is equivalent to almost $30. And a Cuban salary is equivalent to $34. So imagine living on rent almost doesn't make ends meet. It's super complicated. It's better if the expenses are shared between two people. If you're going to decide to live on rent, because either you eat or you live on rent, if you live on rent alone, you don't eat, it's better to stay at your parents' house. And they are also very hard to find. In fact, there are Facebook groups where people post that they are looking for rentals, but the rentals are very hard to find and don't usually appear. How did I get that house? Now I'm going to explain. And why did I come for that? Well, when I decided to become independent, it was more than a year ago. I started asking everyone I knew, walking around the neighborhoods so that people could help me to see if anyone knew about a rental. So walking through a neighborhood, I found the man who owned that house. And he, I suppose, saw me as a responsible person, and he told me, look, I have this house, it's my mom's, it's close, and I'm interested in a person who is responsible and takes care of it. I won't charge you a lot, not what that house would cost. If he charged me what it was worth, which was a house, did you see it? Big, beautiful, well-kept. I wasn't going to be able to because that house could cost you up to $100. 100 MLC rents are super expensive now. And well, she gave me the option to pay her much less money and take care of the house. So I accepted, but she always told me that I was only going to be there for a year. So it didn't matter. I went there and well, that year has already expired. He had other plans with the house and I had to leave. And he himself kind of recommended this little apartment to me, which belonged to some old folks who are the owners that live downstairs. I live upstairs. He told them we were responsible kids, among other things. They didn't let me have the little dog, but because he recommended us, they let us have it here as they have theirs behind the door. Like some instructions, and one of the instructions is not to have pets. So we came here, we had to come here. I plan to be here for a little while, not for a year or a long time, but that's the reality. This is like a real rental. They charge me the real price that a rental costs. To tell you that for this payment more than the other house. Yes, it's impressive. This house is much smaller, much simpler, it looks more humble, and that house was much nicer, bigger. I paid less for the previous one based on our agreement. Now, I'm in a proper rental with a signed contract and everything is in order. And now I'm going to be showing you the little house as I have it organized, so let's get to it. This is like the sign I was telling you about that they have put up behind. Dear neighbor, I must inform you that the apartment you live in. The plate transmits any kind of noise, like all these noises that are here. Do you see what I can't do? Keeping pets in the apartment is not allowed. I already explained to them that they allowed us to have the little dog because here in Cuba, many rentals do not even allow dogs, nor having children. I don't know why. It seems they are afraid they will break their things. Defrost the fridge weekly. Phone electricity not in contract. Ongoing task, save water. Well, and here is Phoebe in her little bed from Shane. I bought that little bed at Shane. My little friend sent it to me. You are like my family, some my friends, so I introduce you to my new home. This is the new little apartment where I'm going to be living for a while, and come on, I'm going to be showing it to you. Here it is. Well, I have a bit of a mess. I'm waiting for my mom to come to help me organize a bit because she seems to know more about that organization stuff and about optimizing space. So when my mom comes, she's going to organize it better for me. I'll show you later. Due to limited space on the small table, I placed the food tray and fruit bowl there. Here I have a big avocado. Look how big this avocado is. Later, we are going to be eating it. The food, I have a fan here because I don't know where to put it. The refrigerator, this was given to me by my little niece, Itana the little giraffe. Here I have little teas, little things that I put up here. And this is the refrigerator that comes with the house. The house comes with all these furniture. I had to get rid of many things that I had in the other house because I couldn't put them anywhere here because I didn't have space. We have this little piece of furniture where I store things. Do you see? Some kitchen stuff, little coffee, little jars and that. Because in the kitchen you will see that it's very small and I don't have much space. I arranged the two little houses and plates I have as the others are unavailable. Her Phoebe, when I adopted her since she was little. She lived in the other house, so that little house was her lifelong home. She lived in that house for nearly a year, which was also very difficult for her. Like everyone else, it was hard for me to come here. I wasn't used to being in such a small space, but it's okay. On the first day, I told her to get used to my life because we were leaving. The house wasn't ours and we brought her there. But the first day she was very nervous. I felt her as if she was nervous, like she didn't know where she was. She even had diarrhea and everything. Because for me, it was because of how nervous she was. But well, she is already. Look how happy she is, right, my love? Do you remember that bathroom that was pink, beautiful, full of pink tiles? This has nothing to do with it. Look, this is my new little bathroom. It's smaller, it's simpler, uglier, you could say. But, well, each era doesn't matter. The bathroom is for what is needed. It serves. So, I don't have a shower curtain yet. My mom bought me one in Santiago Espiritu. When she visits, she'll bring me a curtain since I couldn't find shower curtains here in Matanza. Can you believe that they don't sell shower curtains in Cuba? It's incredible. They don't sell such basic things. Now we're going to the small kitchen, which is also very compact. I have all the dishes here, the ones I just washed from breakfast, the little plates. I organized the pots and pans just like I had them before. But well, you remember that it was much bigger over there. This coffee maker I have was gifted to me by my subscriber from New York. Can you believe it's from New York? That's one of my kitchen's most precious things because coffee is made there daily. Now let's go to the room, which is where we spend most of our time. Because it's not like we have a lot of space to be moving around or anything like that. So, well, come on. This is the little room, my little tiny room. Now look at the television. Well, look, do you remember in the video where I showed the house, the other one? I showed the television and someone commented like, wow, since I hadn't seen a television like that. Well, I tell you that here in Cuba, many people have this type of television. In Cuba, people keep many old things because it's difficult to buy modern items as they are either not sold here or are very expensive. I'm not gonna tell you yes. There are people who have flat screen TVs, big modern, but a lot of people don't have them. Do you have this type of television? Some people, including families, still own black and white televisions. I had one when I was little. So, look here, I have the Doctor Strange movie on. We watch all those movies and all those new things that come out in the package, which is like a hard drive where they put all that information, all the movies, all the premieres, and they distribute them. You pay 50 pesos, which is not even $1 a week, and they bring you all the new things that come out in the world. Because Cuban television only has 8 channels and they are useless. I mean, nobody watches Cuban television. So that's the way to keep us updated with the world. It's because of the package. Here is the little bed. It's good. It's the same bed and the same bedspread that I had there. Here is the little dresser. See? This little dresser, you know, with the perfumes, the creams. I have a bit of a mess because I have several little things. See? I have creams here. I have the makeups. Makeup over here, makeup here. These makeups were given to me by a subscriber. I have several little things. See? I have medicines. This is the studio. This is where I sit to edit. I bought this laptop new, thanks to you, that's right, thanks to you, to your donations, to the fact that you have helped me a lot. I was able to buy a new laptop because my laptop was blocking me. The program, which is Wondershare Filmora, is what I use to edit, and it was a headache. So my friend in Spain bought it for me and sent it to me, and look, she edited it for me. In fact, I'm also editing a video here. I already have a little mess here. Who doesn't have a messy chair in their room? If your room doesn't have a messy chair, I don't trust you. Everyone has that messy chair. Look at the showcase. I want you to see here. This is the showcase of this house. The other house had some very nice closets, but well, here we got a showcase. But look at the key. This gives me the feeling that I live in the medieval times. Look at this key. This is like super old. In fact, I've never opened something with a key like this. And the other thing this house has, or rather doesn't have, is that it doesn't have air conditioning, it doesn't have climate control. The other house had a split unit and it was like the heat in Cuba. It was wonderful, but well, this house doesn't have it. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we have this beautiful window, so the weather doesn't matter. Anyway, I never grew up having air conditioning or anything. Well, gentlemen, I showed you the little house. You wanted me to show it to you and talk more about why I moved. Basically, it was for what I explained to you. It wasn't for anything bad. It was because I had to move. In Cuba, people are rapidly selling their homes and changing plans due to the current situation. And sometimes you can't be sure anywhere. Not even if you sign a contract, not even if you do anything. I have to be here for a while. Stay with me. I was just cleaning and arranging a bit. I'm going to take a bath, change my clothes, and make a small lunch today. Gentlemen, and look at these little eggs. The eggs in Cuba are getting smaller and smaller. I don't know what they're giving those chickens. Look at this, the size of my thumb, this egg. Well, that's how the little avocado is here in Cuba. We're going to chop it up so you can see what it's like. I know that in some places the avocado is like super tiny, but here in Cuba the avocados tend to be quite large and green, very green on the inside. I don't know how you chop the avocado in your countries, but we in Cuba usually chop it like this and add salt to it. So I'm gonna make the fried egg. I'm already making one here. The 2 eggs for lunch. Let's take them to the table. Come on, now wine. A man passed by on a bicycle selling this. It's a coconut foot, filled with coconut. They sell this like this. People on the street. I'm not very into buying these things, but well, I bought it because I never make dessert to eat something sweet. And well, that's it for today's little video. I hope you liked it, that it informed you, that it was entertaining for you. And once again, I give many thanks to all those who always accompany me in each video. Don't forget to subscribe, give it a like, which is super important for you to join this family. I'll be reading all your comments down there. Tell me, what did you think of the little house? What caught your attention? What do you think about these rents in Cuba? Does it resemble anything like it is in your countries? And don't forget that every Friday we have a new video. See you next Friday.